Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is another homemade soup video, and if you are like every other part of the country right now, you're either dealing with cold and snow, or my area, you're dealing with rain, tornado warnings, flooding, heavy winds, etc. Either way, it's a good day to actually make something filling, something comforting, and something tasty. So I thought, how about homemade tomato soup with some grilled cheese sandwiches? So I found a pretty good recipe. I have to tweak it a little bit based on what I have. For example, I don't have tomato paste, so I'll be using tomato sauce. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start with, I fried up 4 slices of bacon. And there is a half an onion in there that I just kept browning in the bacon grease, and till that pretty much caramelizes. It gets like a dark brown. So next I will be adding a 1/4 cup of tomato sauce. Now the recipe calls for 1.5 tablespoons of tomato paste, which I don't buy. So in lieu of that, I used a 1/4 cup of tomato sauce, and I also added, as the recipe directs, a tablespoon of flour. Now I just added I want to say medium-sized can of peeled tomatoes. Now the directions say to put it in a separate bowl and to basically crush them with your hands, which is what I did. But now I really want to make this flavorful. So I also have a big can, and you might remember this from a food pantry haul, of crushed tomatoes. And so I'm going to be adding the rest of those crushed tomatoes in with this as well. There's a few more ingredients I got to add, and then it's going to simmer for roughly 30 minutes. But yeah, so let me add the rest of this crushed tomatoes to the pot. I have a bay leaf added. I have a teaspoon of dried thyme leaves, which is in here. I stirred them real good. And this is 4 cups of water with 4 chicken bouillon cubes. And when these are all dissolved, I'll be adding the 4 cups of broth to the tomato mixture. And then we're going to put this baby on simmer and check it after a half hour. Alright, I added the 4 cups of chicken broth. Took a few minutes for the bouillon to fully dissolve. I have my timer set for 30 minutes because after 30 minutes you are supposed to puree this in batches. Now I don't have a blender or anything that I could use to actually do that, so I did have to borrow my friend's magic bullet. We used that for the puppies when they were smaller, when we were working with bone broth and rice, ground turkey, ground chicken for them. So I know how to work it. And what I'm going to have to do is puree batches of this and put it into another pot. And then when it's all done, pureed, I'll add it back to here. Let it simmer for a few more minutes. It says to add salt. And you can add cream. It does say you could add like 3 tablespoons of milk to the tomato soup, which is probably what I'm going to do. And I'm probably also going to add a tablespoon of sugar to help with the acidity, because I have a lot of tomato in here. Between crushed tomatoes and peeled tomatoes, there's probably a lot of acidity. So definitely a heaping tablespoon of sugar will help with that. I had to do that when my boys were young, many years ago. They would often get impetigo if I use certain sauces, so I learned to start putting sugar in it to help cut down on the acidity in the tomato products. So once again, this is going to simmer on low for 30 minutes. Probably in about 15 minutes, I will start making grilled cheese sandwiches. Or I might, no, actually I probably should wait till after I have the soup pureed and I add the milk to it. Then I will use my griddle and make a couple of grilled cheese sandwiches quick on the griddle. I like making them on that. They come so much better than a frying pan. They just seem to get done really quick on the griddle. So that's what I'll be doing for the grilled cheese. Alrighty guys, yeah, I kind of wolfed my food down, but I have been patiently waiting for like 2 hours to eat. This tomato soup came really, really good. I actually never really made my own, surprisingly. And out of all the soups I made, that is one I never actually did. And I did, of course, have a grilled cheese. That's the crumbs from it right there. Like I said, I love using the griddle for them because in 5 minutes the cheese is melted, the bread is all good to go, and it just takes so much less time than doing them in my frying pan. Now I want to talk a moment about the recipe I use. The recipe is from a website called pinchofyum.com, and I tweaked the recipe a little bit. The lady had carrots in her tomato soup. I wasn't necessarily feeling carrots in it, so I omitted that. She did use fresh garlic. I unfortunately have none, and my garlic powder is like all stuck together in the darn jar. Now I was just too busy and didn't have time to try and separate it, or I would add some of the garlic powder to the soup. So yeah, there's that. But anywho, in the description box I did tag this lady on her Instagram at a pinch of yum to give her credit for her recipe. As I said, I had to tweak it using what I did have, and it did turn out really, really good, you know, minus having the garlic and having used tomato sauce instead of tomato paste. I mean, I do have carrots. I could have thawed some out and added some, but I don't know. I just wasn't feeling carrots in it at the moment. So if anybody ever ate it like that, please let me know in the comments section if you liked it and how the flavor was. I mean, her soup looked amazing. It had like a orangish red color to it, and it looked good. I mean, I could, next time I eat some of this, put some shredded cheese on top, maybe some sour cream. I was just hungry and just wanted to eat it with, you know, salt and pepper and the grilled cheese, and get the dishes done and call it a day. If you like this video, guys, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit my subscribe button, hit the bell for all, and you should be notified every time I do upload a new video. So stay dry and stay warm, and I'll see you all soon on my next one. Good night. Bye.